Cliff Notes version is that I went to school to be an actor and then realized that I had a passion for the internet and studied graphic design. And when YouTube came out, which was my senior year of college, I thought this is the perfect opportunity for me to mix the things that I'm interested in, which are the arts and the internet. And so I started a YouTube channel, and through a series of videos that did well and some cool contests and just making lots of content that I loved, I now am in a place where it's my job. My first videos were about hair, surprisingly. I'm actually really into hair. It is a huge thing, and I swear every single day I either have someone that reaches out and wants to touch my hair without asking me, which is a little like, please keep your hands to yourself. But for me, I really like to think of my hair as a work of art. I like to use it to kind of, it's almost like an accessory for me, and just the challenge of doing new things is really awesome. And also, you know, there are a lot of stigmas about natural hair, and so it's important for me to show people that our hair can be just as versatile and cool as anyone else's. In 2012, I had a viral video called Shit White Girls Say to Black Girls, and it was a parody of the meme Shit Girls Say, which was kind of just like a funny video about all of the stereotypical things that girls say. Growing up in South Florida, I had lots of beautiful friends that were white that I loved very, very much, but I was different from them. And so that sometimes kind of presented itself in these ways that were kind of uncomfortable and sometimes, you know, kind of hurtful, even though they didn't mean it. And so it really resonated with a lot of people, and 11 million views later, it really catapulted my career. I was working as a graphic designer for a fashion brand, and I was at my desk and all of these emails were coming in, and I was just bawling, and my coworkers were looking at me saying, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "My video's going viral. Everyone wants to talk to me." I was interviewed on Anderson Cooper. I auditioned for SNL. I got some cool writing jobs. I got to go all over the country speaking at different colleges, and I ended up quitting my job off of the revenue that I made from that video, and I got my agent and just really started exploring a full-time career in entertainment, and I haven't looked back since. I now host a show at MTV News called Decoded, and it's all about race and pop culture, but we use sketch comedy and motion graphics, and we really just try to take big issues that are sometimes difficult to talk about or make people uncomfortable and quite literally decode them so that we can expand people's minds and make them think, but also kind of provide a little break from some of these tough issues and tough stories out there. And I really do think that educating people is the way that we are going to make progress. And I do think that we unfortunately do have a long way to go, but there are so many people who are ready to learn and want to be part of the solution. And that is really encouraging for me. My mother has always just told me to be myself, and I feel like that is one of those pieces of advice that everybody gets that you feel is really cliche and is really hard to do, because you think, well, who am I? Like, be myself. I don't even know what that means, and I want to be like that person because they're successful, or I don't want to be like that person. And I think that we spend so much time thinking about everyone else that we forget to reflect on what makes us happy and what makes us individuals and what we're most passionate about. And I think that as long as you can center and focus back on what's most important to you, then you're going in the right direction. I love to read, I love to talk to people, and you'd be really surprised how often you can send somebody a tweet or an email and say, "I'd love to just go to coffee," or "Here's a project that I'm working on, I'd love to get your feedback." A lot of times people will say yes, and the worst that can happen is someone says no, and you just move on and ask somebody else.